1. I'm joined now by the number 2 seed on the women's side, coming off a 75-69 win against the number 3 seed, Cal State LA. I'm joined today by head coach of the Cougars, Renee Jimenez. On her right, Charity Gallegos, and on her left, Dynnah Buckner. Coach, just take us through your thoughts on today's game, please.
Yeah, I thought we've been trying to knock on this door of toughness, and I think when you get into this time of year where it's every game counts, there's no game in 24, back-to-back games, things like that. When you get into these situations where it's win or go home time, the tougher team's going to win. We talked about defense and rebounding, 50-50 balls, that was going to keep us in the game and win us the game, and essentially at the end of the game it did. So I'm really proud of our group. I thought it's by far one of our best defensive games. Our energy for 40 minutes. LA made some tough shots and went on some runs. They've a handful of really talented offensive players. But I think if you look around our group and you look at what Dynnah does and what Dynnah does, they are locked down defenders, and when you're playing kids like Bugs and Flenau, you need that, and you need kids like that who are going to sacrifice everything, their legs, everything they do offensively to make sure that those two don't score. And granted, Bugs still did what she did, but we tried to make all 30 of her points as hard as possible. So I'm really proud of our group and just the resiliency they showed. But tonight I thought we were the tougher team, and that's what happens at this time of the year.
Great note on Bugs. She did have 30 points, but you got to also say on the other side of that, only one other player was also in double figures.
Right.
Kind of the way it goes.
Yeah.
Dynnah, can I talk to you a little bit about the defense out there? Yes. I know you drew some of those assignments against Bugs, some of those other switches on that. Just what you guys held them 13% below their season average, and then I think they were about 8 points below their scoring average. What was the game plan going on out there, and do you take pride in your defense, maybe even more than your offense?
I do, but we do collectively. Like Coach mentioned, defense is our number one priority. Defense is our offense, and honestly, I have the best teammates who help a lot, which makes, honestly, defense a bit easier. They're in the gaps. They help box out. So honestly, it makes example like my, Dynnah and our jobs a lot easier because the defensive collective effort helps a lot.
Thank you. Well, Charity, back in the CCAA tournament, back with 20-plus points on the board. Talking about what was going on and how it's looking for you out there offensively. You ended up 11 of 20 from the field.
It was really my teammates. They helped me get open, and then I feel like everyone was just going hard and trying to get their shot. So I think we did very well team effort tonight.
Do you feel like you turn up your play in the postseason at all?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure.
She's got a little chip on her shoulder. She's got something to prove. So.
Understood. I got one more question for you, really quick. You have now been playing for the CCAA Championship, I believe, for 3 straight tournament championship for 3 straight years.
Yes.
How important was it for your team to make sure you guys got back to this game? And let's still be honest, you didn't win the championship last year. Was this a goal this season, kind of circled early in the year?
Yes. Excuse me. This was, now that we've been to the tournament for 3 years in a row now, it's a standard of ours. That is something that we pride ourselves in. We got to get to the championship and proceed. So, sorry. That's pretty much it. But honestly, that is our standard. We knew that we had to get the job done, play together, go hard, and win a chip. So.
Yeah, I think we feel like we've been there 3 times. We don't have a blue banner in our gym, and that kind of bothers us every day when we walk into practice. Is we're kind of like always the bridesmaid, never the bride. And so it was. We're really. This was the one we were hunting. Obviously the body of work that you have to do in the conference to win the conference title outright is tough. And Dominguez was the best team all year. But to be able to come in and kind of get yourself mentally prepared for the regional next week, to win 2-3 games is hard. And so this is something that was circled and put into their goals early in the year about winning the conference tournament, because again we've been here 3 times and we haven't won it. And so there's, whether it's a blue banner or a white banner, we want it. We've talked a lot about putting rings on some of these guys' fingers, like Charity, and that haven't had that opportunity. And so we're hungry. We got 40 more minutes left in us for sure.
Final question here, Coach. I know, I'm glad that you led off. I'm glad you talk about your defense, but I got to ask you one other question about your offense.
Sure.
You have 5 players in double figures, including Malia, who comes off the bench today and scores 10 points in 12 minutes. Can you just talk about that collective effort and maybe a little about her contribution to the team?
I mean, I talked about this in our interview earlier in the week. You have to pick. We have a lot of guys that can come in and make you pay, and you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna have to pick whether you take away our post game, whether you take away Forrester, whether you take away Dynnah's drives to the rim. Tonight it was C's turn, it was Malia's turn. I mean, those were huge threes that she made in the corner back to back, and that our team came down and they trusted her to make those shots. And honestly, these guys, like I've said this before, our team's in the gym every day, every morning. Malia doesn't know whether she's going to play 2 minutes or 22 minutes or 12 minutes, but she's there every single morning with the rest of the group getting her shots up, and that's trusting your work, and that's what we talk about all the time. Is you got to be confident in your shot and take it when you have it, because you do put the work in. So I'm really proud of her, and those were huge plays for us.
Well, thank you very much. Great to see the Cougars put in the work to get back to the CCAA Championship game. We look forward to seeing you play tomorrow. We don't know who your opponent will be yet, as Cal State Dominguez Hills is taking on Cal Poly Pomona right now, but we do know your game will be at 8, so looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Cool.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.